Hi, hello. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, it's early. If you're new here, my name is Katherine. I'm currently a third year PhD student studying history at The Ohio State University, and I need to put my shoes on and head out the door because today is an archive day, and I'm going to attempt to take you along for a brief day in my life at the archives. Yesterday was my first day at this new archive, which is the Archives de Paris, so the Paris Archives. They are located in the northeast of the city. At first, this was probably my least favorite archive because I went and I got there about 20 minutes after they had opened, and they have really, really weird hours this summer. Like until July 8th, they're only open from like Wednesdays to Saturdays, and so when I went, I arrived 20 minutes after opening, but there were already so many people there, and there's only so many people allowed in the room, and I had to wait 2 hours. 2 hours before getting into the room to even look at the archives. But then the archivists were really nice, and I was able to find some files that I think will be interesting and helpful to me. So that part was exciting. And that is also good news because I have to keep going back to this archive a lot. I'm going back today, and then I'm taking the weekend off. Well, I'll probably read some things on the train, but this weekend I'm going to go visit my friend Victoria, who I taught in France with, and then we both did NYU together, and I haven't seen her in 2 years. The last time I saw her was when she came to visit me at the chateau that I used to work at in 2020, literally March of 2020, like a week before the entire country went into like intense lockdown. So with that being said, I need to finish packing my backpack and head out. I am taking the bus to get there, so I have brought my Kindle with me, which shout out to, and that's not my Kindle, this is my Kindle. Shout out to my fiance who got me this Kindle because I've been using it so much in Paris, and I'm gonna read it on the bus. So let me finish packing up and get out of here, and let's go to the archives. Today was a difficult day at the archives, so got myself an ice cream, which is on the way home, and then I will update on why this day felt like a train wreck. Okay, I'm not just eating ice cream for lunch. I have a salad. Oh, I have a salad. I have some water. I'm going to attempt to hydrate. I can't stop this problem of being dehydrated in the archives, and this new place was like even worse because it's very complicated to even like leave the room to go to the locker where you have to put your bag and all your food and all your drink. So I'm less inclined to do it. So I just didn't drink any water for like 3 hours. I think my biggest problem with the archives so far is that if I need to return to a particular archive multiple days and I don't work with the same archivist, I will get different types of assistance, and I ran into that problem today. Some of the research that I'm trying to do, I might need a dérogation, which is essentially like you state the purpose of your research, and if you're accepted, it can unblock certain files that might be closed to you, particularly medical files. I talked about this in my last video. But these new files I'm working with are files of children who were like given to the state this didn't happen just during the war, but I'm looking at it during World War I, and it's their intake files. And the thing is, I can look at most of the files, but sometimes there might be like a piece of medical information in the archive that I'm not allowed to see. And so yesterday, the two people who I was working with were super helpful, and I could do like 10 of them at a time and they would just like quickly scan them. Today, the people were much more strict. They would only give me one at a time, and sometimes these files have literally like one paper in there, so it's not really useful, and I will know right away if I want to take pictures of this or not. So it was just really a hassle to keep getting up and doing that every time. And so when I first got there and tried to explain my research to the person, you know, she was explaining, oh, I can only give you one at a time, like I'm gonna have to look through this all. And then the other person said, you should just do like a dérogation globale, which would mean I could look at like entire cartons at a time. But again, I'm like, I don't really have time for that because they take kind of like weeks to process. And so I was trying to say, I only said like one sentence before I was cut off. Like, it's just a bit confusing because like I get told different things different days. Like, no one said that that would be an easier way to do things yesterday. And the guy like started going off on me about, oh, well, like maybe some of his colleagues are like lazy or blah, 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 but like this is how it has to be done. I'm like, I understand there's certain files I can't see, but there's an easier way for me to access them right here and right now. And I know because it happened yesterday. So that was just really set my day off on a wrong start. I wanted to cry. I literally was sitting there with one of the files and could just feel like tears welling up in my eye because I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. And yeah, I still got a lot of work done today, but when you're doing archive work, it's easy to get exhausted quickly. When you're doing archive work in another language, like, I don't know, somebody commented on my last video that they do like 10 hours in a day. I wish I could get all of it done and out of the way, but I just cannot do it all in one go. My brain just shuts down. So I did about 3 hours of work, but of course, it took me almost a whole day to do that because I'm far away from this archive. The transportation situation on the way home is really wonky. So it is 2:20 now and I'm sitting down to eat lunch after, excuse me, my ice cream. I am gonna work a little bit more to find articles that I can read this weekend. I'm taking a weekend trip to Bordeaux, so I need to pack. I'm probably gonna take a walk. There's a little green path next to where I live, so might just chill out here for a little bit and then take a walk. Okay, I am getting ready to go on a little walk. It is 5 p.m. and it's actually kind of hot outside. We have had what I would call a very mild summer here in Paris so far. The weather has been, there's been a lot of like 70s, like days in the 70s, which feels really nice, but it also doesn't really feel like summer to me, if you know what I'm saying. We did have that one heat wave, but other than that, it's been not too hot. However, every time I go outside, I wear this hat and I put some sunscreen on because I have permanent sun damage to my forehead right here. Wear your sunscreen. When I was younger, I would get sunburned a lot. Even if I did put on sunscreen, I would forget to reapply, or I would just forget to wear it, or I wouldn't put it everywhere I needed to put it. And it damaged my skin pretty bad after 2 bad sunburns in the exact same spot. So now I make sure to diligently cover it every time that I go out. So let's see, what do I need? I need ID, I need keys, and I need myself. So let's go. All right, it is now 6:43. I think I have pasta sauce still on my face. Anyway, I went on my walk. I made some dinner. It was just pasta with some cheese. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I'm gonna start working on uploading the footage from today's video and start editing it because I am not gonna be back until Monday, so I wanna see if I can manage to get it edited and uploaded. I realized after the fact that my last week's video, there was a problem and it didn't upload the last 2 minutes. I still can't really figure out what happened because the video file has those 2 minutes. So somewhere in between when I posted it, when I uploaded it, because even within the system I added the like in card, so I don't really know, but I'm gonna be very diligent this time to make sure that doesn't happen again. I think Andrew, my fiance, I realized that I haven't really given him a name. Andrew, this is just gonna make it so much easier. I think he has a lunch break soon, so hopefully I'll get to FaceTime him. It's been a little bit tricky figuring out a schedule for talking with the time difference. We are currently 7 hours apart, so usually when I'm like getting ready for bed, he's taking an afternoon kind of break. When I'm coming home from the archive, he's taking like a lunch break. We try and find little times here and there. I'm really thankful I have like an unlimited data plan so that we can use FaceTime audio and FaceTime pretty much as I want, even when I'm not on Wi-Fi, though the quality can be a little spotty, but thankful for little victories. So for now, I am gonna start editing a little bit. All right, so my goal to not have an abrupt ending for this vlog did not turn out very well because the rest of that night got very busy. As I was packing, I talked to Andrew, and I think I ended up talking to like 2 other people just randomly as well, but I did make it to Bordeaux. I did not get the video uploaded, so sorry it's a week late. But yeah, I had so much fun with Victoria. I was like doing a counter to see how many times I mentioned the trip during the video. I had to cut a few of them out. Had a good trip. There was some distressing news coming out of the US that kind of put quite a damper on the weekend. No words about what's going on in the US right now. I'm very disappointed, very disheartened, very angry. I might address this a little more in my next video. I think it's still kind of a lot for me to talk about, and a lot of the work I do focuses on kind of women's rights, women's reproductive rights as well. So it's very distressing, and it hits to the core a lot. So maybe I'll talk a little bit more about my thoughts in the next video. But for now, I hope all of you out there are coping
in whatever way that you can, just being alive in a crazy, crazy world. And I will see you guys next week.